started out here cutting out the side panels and the end panels over here. It's going to be 2 feet by 3 feet since I'm only brooding up about 6 chickens. And the side vents here, you can see the markings are going to be open. This section here is going to be opened up and screened so there's ventilation, and the chicks can also know that there's more to the world than a square box. I've got this 1-inch pine spindle material that I'm going to use for the corners, and we're going to be constructing a lid with a hinge on the top that is also screened for ventilation, and that should also keep any other household pets out. The next step that I've got here, after I've got the boards all cut to size and trimmed and they're sort of square, is I'm going to take out this centerpiece. What I've done is drilled a couple holes. I lacked a drill bit that was big enough, so I just conjoined a couple holes there, and I should be able to get the saber saw in on there, and be right back when that's done. All right, those are now cut out. I've gone 4 inches from the edge, 2 inches from top and bottom, and that is going to allow a little bit of rigidity in here. Most of the rigidity is going to come from the end pieces, which are going to stay whole, and from this 1-inch pine. The next stop is to screen this and make sure it's stapled down, since I don't want to deal with that while it's all assembled. I'll do it before it's assembled. And there's the other one back there. Putting the screen up, and that's just you fit it to the edge with a little bit of overlap. Make sure you get your corners really good. And then I've been doing about a finger's length between staples, and as projects go around here, I'm out of staples. So I gotta go to the hardware store, but that's the general gist of the sides. Fairly straightforward. Once we've got the staples at the hardware store, you guys are pretty lucky. It's only just a cut scene away and the staples are here. It's actually 15 or 20 minute travel around the place, but just gone around the edges, cleaned up the edges a little bit so nobody gets hurt. When it's all constructed and built, this is the nice outside that will show. So the staples will all be inside towards the chickens because, well, they don't really care about aesthetics, they're chickens. So this is the second side in progress. Again, since I have more staples and I'm not limited, I'm kind of being a little more liberal with how many I put in. So this one's going to be a little bit heavier. And then once we have that in, we'll get the sides all put together and work out the bottom and the top. So I've begun putting the sides together. I had to recut one wall because it was too short. Yeah, it wasn't very much too short, but it was like enough to make it irritating to me if I had to look at this for a long time. And also this side wall I installed backwards so that, if you remember correctly, the nice clean edge was on the outside. This side was the opposite, where the ugly edge was out. So I'm trying to backtrack a little. Probably can't preach enough. Take your time, go slow. Yeah. Okay, we got all the sides put together. Got this wall switched around so it's out the right way. Across the bottom edges there, and the top edges too, I've reinforced with the 1x1 spindle material. So this thing is, even without a top and the bottom, it is solid. I can only imagine once I put the top and the bottom on how nice that's going to be. I'd like to think nothing's getting in, but the weak spot obviously is this window screen, and we'll have to keep a squirt bottle of water around for the cats when they start to mess around. They'll learn, they'll get it. My powers of estimation were pretty close. You'll see I'm probably about a finger's width shy of board length on either side. And where did I put it? I think this and this is the only scrap from the job, so that came out pretty nice. So far, guys, we're about $40 in to this. It's all into this wood, and if I had thought on my feet a little more, I could have gotten something cheaper, but this is $1 a board foot, and the screen was about $8. Bought some screws and ended up having to buy staples and another bit, because every time I buy a bit it disappears. It should just buy them in pairs. So we're gonna go ahead next and put on the bottom, and then we'll do the top. Bottom's on. It's coming together quicker than I thought. Here I've got everything I measured, outside diameter for everything. Tacked it in with some screws. It's holding chicks, so I didn't go incredibly heavy on screws, and it's not 100% flush, but I don't think the chickens will complain too much. So that's that. We're gonna flip over and do the top now. Okay guys, we're gonna do the top now. The top's the same dimensions as the bottom, and oddly enough, this thing is in square. So on the top, the light's really bad, but here, I'll give you an angle here, you can see. I've gone with two open areas with a dividing centerpiece because my cat will more than likely hop on the top of this, and I'd hate to have him fall in with the chickens without me being there to catch him, so that would be a bad thing. So I'm gonna do the 2 windows, and we're gonna go really heavy on the screen, and heavy on the staples around the screen. So, and then it's on to drilling a couple holes, getting some saber saw. All right, guys, top is cut out, the screen's going in. On the corners, I am doubling the staples, and on the edges, I'm going very close together with the staples. I would like for this to hold up if a cat jumps on it, decides he wants to sit on it, because he's not incredibly bright. But see, I've doubled in the corners there, and the support in the middle with the added staples down the middle should help these be a little more firm. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish stapling this up, and then we'll put it on the brooder and see how it looks. Final steps here. Come around back. Got some hinges, just cheap $3 hinges. I think they were 3 something. The plywood was a little thin, so the screws kind of came up. That's not a very big problem. But the lid now hinges. Got a block of wood there just holding it in place right now. So yeah, hinge up, hinge down. What I'll probably end up doing is putting a little weight on top of here. Either that or a simple hasp. I just don't happen to have a hasp on hand right now, so there it is. One chicken brooder in the morning for about $40. Mostly just elbow grease, that's all. It's a whole thing. It's 2 foot by 3 foot. So we'll hold the chicks for a while. It's about a foot tall, 1.5 foot tall, something like that. So it'll hold them for a little while. So I'll do another video out when I get it set up with shavings and the feeder in it and water. And of course we'll be making videos once they come along, so stick with us.